Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. Your new content is,
You like it?
yes, it's hot. It's so
We still have
beautiful.
another shoot to do on Thursday. Actually, I have to confirm the day, but we still have another part of the shoot to do. So
It looks really good.
thank you. Bye, baby. How is everyone feeling? I'm excited for content workshopping. It's one of my favorite things to do. No, you're good. What are you doing?
Bye.
Are you taking my car? I need it. Are you going to be back at 11?
Yeah.
Are you going to be back at 11:15? Sorry, guys. Thank you. Okay. Anyways, okay, I'm excited for content workshopping, especially I know you both are launching something, so just want to check in with how you guys are doing with that, what's coming up, resistance, workshopping some things, pivoting some things, playing with some things, all the fun stuff. So whoever wants to go first, we can definitely do that, but let's roll.
I woke up with like a heart full of gratitude and like I literally was just this is like so random, but I love what are they called? Like when the numbers like angel numbers. I was literally
Yeah.
just like weighing out my food for my lunch and my dinner to go to work after this. And then when I take everything off the scale, it's like literally 11:11. And I was like,
Amazing.
then I scream. I'm like, thank you, God. Like I literally have been screaming that nonstop. So everything just feels so good. So today's my first day of my 5 day challenge and I have 17 people in it. So it's like, oh my gosh. So I mean, when you listen to my voice notes tomorrow, you'll hear, but it's just, I just keep telling myself like you're expanding. Like there was some resistance this weekend to like send out the template. And then I did your friend Lauren, I did her receiving challenge. So I low-key kind of just like went back to what she sent her people and then
Yeah.
tailored it to mine. And I was like, okay, there's a reason I did that, even though it was so good because I've been receiving gift
Yeah.
cards out of nowhere and I'm like, bring them on. So everything has been feeling so good with that. I just need to create my like 4 week sprint for what I'm
Mhm.
going to offer them after, and then also create like a landing page to make that super simple. That's on my to-do list for this week. I kind of have like a little bit of brainstorming for my 4 week sprint, but I'm gonna work on that later tonight after work, to kind of see what I come up with. But I'm excited like to do that. And then my two client check-ins this morning like made me so happy. Like my one client was just like, you've helped me like lose weight in the most healthy way. And I was like, I could go cry now. So everything is just like feeling good. And that's the client that that I've been working with for free for 3 months. And now I'm going to offer her like 3 months, like at like a half off price because I just feel like she deserves it. And then just to kind of keep her working. And she was talking about how she has like a cruise coming up in February. And so it seems as though she wants to still work with me. So after she answers her check-in, then I'm gonna kind of put that out there for her.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? That's
I know it's moving so fast, and I
amazing.
have a blind date on Saturday, and I feel really good about
Yay.
it. We'll talk more about that later, but
That-
it's wild. It's all wild, but it all feels so good when I woke up this morning, so it's good.
Oh my goodness. I am so proud of you. 17 freaking people. That's
Yeah.
incredible. That is
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I had like a handful of my friends, and like then my one friends, like their moms, and then a few of them, I was like, invite your friends, just send me their Instagram handles. I'll just add them to the chat.
Yeah.
So it's good. And then this morning I like put in like, oh, got my movement in, like share your photos, share your wins for the day. So I'm excited to like pop it in there. And then I also need to figure out because I want to share like educational, like because like people like I feel like they believe like bloating's normal, but kind of like be like it's not normal when you feel bloated. It's to kind of like give like an educational piece each day. Otherwise, like the fact that I'm like holding a community challenge just like feels so happy to me. And like
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I'm actually doing this. So I'm excited.
Yeah. That's that feeling where it's like, oh, I'm actually doing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm in place and it's actually happening and it's working and all that kind of things. And you can, what form do you want to share educational content in? Do you want to do it in voice? Do you want to do it in text? Do you want to do it in video?
I feel like I would just do text for the first one, but then obviously as I continue doing them, like I feel like I would do one every single month, like a 5-day challenge every month. Um, then I can like upgrade to like video or to like voice note, or maybe I'll like chime in a little voice note here and there. But like for the educational piece, I feel like writing it out just so I can make sure, because sometimes when I talk, then I like lose my train of thought. And I know that's fine, but just like for educational, trying to just type it all out for them to read it. And then I can chime in like voice note, like just like how proud I am of all of them, or just like little messages here and there.
Yeah, a thing that I have found that is the highest converting is voice noting, and then in the bottom you can put the bullet points of what you covered so that they know what's being covered in that voice note. Um, just so that when you're speaking, it gives you more authority versus something that's written text. A lot of people nowadays are just assuming it's from ChatGPT. And so we want something that's more you, whether that's video or voice, and being able to put that in there. And then you can put in the bottom, like, these are the bullet points. And so you can, what I do when I'm voice noting, because ADD brain, I can literally talk about anything and get distracted by a fucking squirrel. It needs to be written down in my notes section on my computer or my phone. And so when I'm voice noting on my phone, I'm watching on my computer to know that I'm touching those bullet points and that there's a structure to it. And I'm not just talking to fucking talk. There's actually a direction of which that I'm putting you through. And so
Yeah.
that can be something that you do. And so you can space out those 5 days because you know what you're going to cover. And then being like, okay, these are the things that I want to touch on in this section that leads to this section, that leads to this section. So it's a coherent challenge that gives them a tangible outcome.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
And then leading into the 4 week, since you're already in, because it starts today, right? The 5-day
Yeah.
challenge. So you want to know what you're selling them into because you're going to subtly be talking about that through the next 5 days. And so what you want to sell them into is the next right step. It's like, oh, the 4 week sprint to actually get over, I don't know, food sensitivities or, something that leads that they're also, that's the next step of bloating. I don't know what necessarily. What I have found is people don't pay a lot for gut health stuff. So I wouldn't like stay in that arena a lot. They pay a lot for hormonal health and they pay a lot for like pregnancy stuff. And then they pay a lot for weight loss. When it comes to gut health, it's a really hard thing to sell because people just think it's normal. So they don't want to invest like thousands of dollars in that stuff. So when you're looking at like a 4 week sprint, it could just be like helping them lose the 10 pounds, like the 4 week sprint to help you lose 10 pounds. I know Eddie
Yeah.
did that where it was like 21 days to lose 8 pounds. And then he did that himself with his clients. So something like that, where it's like the next step after bloating could be, okay, in the arena of which that you want to sell them into in like the 3 month, 6 month package. It's like, okay, here's the 5 pound, 10 pound bubble, whatever. And then after the back end of the 4 week sprint, then you sell them into the 3 to 6 month package on like the full 25 pounds or whatever you're helping them lose.
Yeah. That sounds good. And I just need to create this and then obviously have it available for them come Friday, which I know is totally possible. And
Yeah. And like you don't like with this stuff, especially with like sure you can have like needing the landing page and stuff like that, but don't let that bog you down and get in the way of your sale. I used to do this a lot in the beginning of my career. Is like I just started adding landing pages because I'm gonna be running ads, so I'm testing them with organic audiences. Like if we're using landing pages, if your content should sell the thing the most, your messaging should sell the thing the most, the landing page should just describe like who it's for, who it's not for, why this is different from anything else. Here's the payment link. Like it could be as simple as that, unless you're doing sorry, let me turn that off. Unless you're doing like ads and solely running through a cold audience, but this is a really hot audience, so they're not going to necessarily need the full landing page. So don't get too bogged down by that. They just need necessarily like a payment link. I've run so many things with just like a Stripe link before and like the name of something.
so I can just make like one Stripe link that they'll all kind of get, and then I'll send, once they pay, then I send like the document that I'm going to create.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't, since this is already such a hot audience because it's friends and family, right? They're not going to need as much. This is why it's so important to have a hot audience and like build that. But when it's a cold audience and it's like new people and it's ads and it's like from viral content, like the stuff that I work with now, that's when you need landing pages with more context and more stuff. But when it's a hot audience, you're talking about the stuff. Like I would by the third day, I'd be talking about my offer. I'd be dropping the offer. I'd be hinting at the next right step. I'd be hinting at the thing. And then I'd be dripping information and be like, okay, here's how to get involved. Here's an early bird to jump in on day 3. On day 4, I'd add a bonus. I'd be like, you get a one-on-one call with me. On day 5, I'd add urgency. Hey, the bonus and the one-on-one are running out in the next 48 hours. If you want to jump in, blah, blah, blah. Like playing and start selling by the third one while also giving information.
So I was thinking like 180. So then like how much like should I discount it?
What feels right for you? What feels like this would be a stupid thing for people not to buy at a price point?
Like $80.
Yeah, you can do for 24 hours. It's going to be $100 off. And then you can raise the price again. Okay, for the next 24 hours, it's going to be $50 off. Okay, for the next, for the last day, being like, it's $180, but you also get 2 one-on-one sessions with me plus XYZ. Like you can add a bonus in that thing, right? Like it's a discount. It's early, not discount. I hate discounting stuff, but like early bird, full price bonus is usually how I sell my stuff.
Okay.
Because you want to create internal and external urgency when you're selling.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That sounds good.
Yay. Any more questions? And don't forget, you can also sell to your audience. Like, don't just sell in the challenge. You want to keep selling your challenge over the next 3 days. And then on the third day, when you drop the offer on my stories, what I would say is like, I just dropped an insane offer inside the challenge. Let me know if you want to join the challenge to get the first peek at it, blah, blah, blah. And then on the 4th day and the 5th day is when I would start sharing testimonials on my stories. And then the 4th day is when I would start sharing testimonials of my clients, because people that are in your program are going to be watching your stories. And then on the 5th day is when I would sell my audience that aren't in the challenge on the offer. Be like, hey, if you jump in now, you get 2 one-on-ones. Like they don't get the early bird discount, they get the bonus.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
But I'd be like alluding to it in my stories, like something is coming. I dropped something in this challenge. Let me know if you want the link to join. Like bringing the hype still, because you can still sell the challenge even though it started.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That all sounds good. And this is recorded so I can go back and listen.
All the good stuff.
And then yesterday, like I sat down to like write content and I put on like my little like, what's it called? The Hertz, the HZ,
Yeah.
whatever. And it just like felt more easy, I guess. Like I feel like it's getting more fluid. Even like I know I can always better my messaging, but I sent you my like content that I'm gonna post for this week. If you could just like take a little peek at it and like see if there's any kind of like flips or switch
Is it
or
in
like
Telegram?
on your email.
My email, okay. What is it in my life? Oh, I got it here. Content open. Okay. As a fit person on an active life, but aren't achieving your desired results. I would get more specific about what desired results aren't they getting. Like still
Okay.
aren't getting those pesky 7 pounds given how much that you're working out,
Yeah.
or getting the muscle mass that you should be having given you lift weights every day. Like something that's specific to your person. I don't know what their core thing that they're doing is and the desire that they want, but I'd get more specific on that. Having you're super active individuals, constantly go and on your feet all day, you follow workouts on the fitness app, and believe you're eating healthy on a fitness app. Do people use fitness apps or more so use YouTube?
My one client says she like uses like the Kayla app, but now she's doing my workouts.
Got it. That type of app. You find yourself frustrated and upset because you aren't seeing the results you want. You want all your hard work to show and you're sick of feeling tired, not seeing it pay off. Here are a few things I recommend you do. Follow a structured workout program. I would say a personalized because you want them to hire you to personalize it. So if I
Mhm.
think of structured, I'm like arms, legs,
Right.
glute, you know, lift heavy and overload your muscles in a way that's tailored to you, your diet, and lifestyle, and hormonal health. Push yourself a little hard and doing the next. Set the heavy. Yeah, so what I would do is, and because you're giving them actual advice, which is great. But something I would like really focus on in this part is like, it's not working because you don't have me. You don't have someone that is coming in and personalizing this for you, for your lifestyle, for your hormonal health, for your blood levels, for where you're at. That's how you get the results that you want. Yes, technically you could be lifting heavy, doing the things, blah, 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 but what you want to sell in this caption is you.
That
Is
makes
your
sense.
is coaching, is your way of doing things, is you like that way of doing things versus lift heavy, just
Right.
true. But we want to be selling you and your methodologies and your work.
Right.
And so tracking your food, again, the same thing, having a tailored diet plan that fits your heavy work schedule, given you don't have a normal eating routine. So you have to have certain ways of eating, like talking like that, where it's like not just track their food, it's talking about how they need something tailored to them as a busy individual because they're on their feet all day doing night shifts, what have you, XYZ.
Okay. That makes sense.
And then the rest thing as well. We can just leave rest. That one's fine, but just tailoring it again, being like you're on your feet all day, you're at the hospital and you're doing this, you're doing that, you're taking care of everyone else. These are the days that really matter, blah, blah, blah. Again, we want to keep the focus on these hospital workers, caretakers,
Healthcare.
healthcare practitioners. Yeah.
Healthcare work.
What's up, dude?
Sorry, like,
What?
can you pass me my watch?
Your watch? Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Bye.
I'm going to try.
Okay, bye. Okay, so that's for that one. Once I know what food is good for me, no, wait. Once I know what food is good for me and not good for me, I feel this will be better. I don't get that statement.
That's just like what one client said to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's make it if it's something someone said, I get it, and then we want to add it so that it's like a general thing people would say. So once I know what food is good for me versus not good for me, I'll feel better. I'll have more energy. I'll lose the 5 pounds. I'll stop having sugar cravings. Like whatever she meant by I feel this will be better, whatever this was that she was referring to. And my question to you is, what steps are you taking to learn how to eat more healthy and understand what foods are best to help you lose 20 pounds? Nutritionist said if you allow it to be, you have to make the choice. You have the choice to make it simple. Stop looking for shortcut quick fixes, relying on supplements and focusing on whole foods taste so dang good. Protein, meat, fish, fruits and veggies, carbs. Those fats, want more support, nutrition. Insane. Where we start. Structure like that. Yeah, that one's good because that's more education post. And then I
Yeah.
would think, I'm going to want to save this. You want to tell them what to do because we want to get your metrics up. And if it's education posts, that's when they're gonna be sharing stuff or saving stuff. And we want to tell them exactly what to do with that stuff. So you get those. That's what we care about metrics. I don't give a fuck about likes. I give a fuck about how many people are sharing and liking my stuff because that means it's valuable and then it's free marketing if they're also sharing it. But it's save worthy to then indicate, oh, these are things that people want to learn of, and then I'll create a program around things that have the most saves. So we want to see what people are doing in that arena. Okay.
Okay.
And then just structuring in a certain way, things like that. Perfect. You need to make time, you need discipline, you need to stick to a plan. You need to stick to a personalized plan. The 20 pounds you want to lose is built on all the decisions you are avoiding. Most people already know what needs to be done, but they keep coming back with excuses not to. What I would change is because the client you were just talking to in the first caption is you were saying that they are trying. And so most people already know what needs to be done, but they keep coming up with excuses not to. That doesn't apply to the first person you were talking to in your first caption. I would say most people know what needs to be done, but they're frustrated because although they're putting in the work, they're not getting the result.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Speaking to someone that's already trying versus someone that's like, I don't feel like it. I'm tired today. Like, I don't think that's the type of client you want to work with. It's the type of client that's like, I'm fucking trying. Why don't I look jacked? What's happening? Why haven't I lost pounds? Like that type of person. Yeah. Go all in and be obsessed with your health in a healthy way. Good health and all the happiness. Work on yourself healing. Go hand in hand. Be meticulous with your routine and people you surround yourself with. These affect your health too. Okay, so I get that this one's more like motivational for the 19th, but we want to highlight what the gap is. So you're saying these things, so I want it to be like, okay, be obsessed with your health, blah, blah, blah. I want it to talk like, yes, of an empowered thing, but I want you to sit here being like, good health and all the happiness, work on your self-development. Like this is very motivationally, and I get that for coaches, and that's what we do, but we want to be helping them in some type of way. Like we can do this on the stories, but it's sitting here being like, you deserve this, or like, this is the reason you don't have this yet. And then talking about something and highlighting how your coaching fills that gap for them. That's what we want the content to more be around versus like motivational, because that's going to lead to, oh my God, you're so inspiring content versus, oh my God, can I pay you content?
Yeah.
If you keep ignoring this one thing, you'll never see results. So again, what specific results is that for the 20th?
Oh, you want-
Getting more clear on what results that is. Isn't perfection, it's progress. Again, we want to talk about personalized support versus like the overarching themes of nutrition, of like walking a little more, doing it. Again, these people at this point, they know that, but they're not getting the results. So what do they need to hear of why they're not getting the results? And it has to do more with like personalized nutrition, personalized routines, things of that nature. Do you have any questions?
No, that was really helpful.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Of course. Jackie.
Hello.
Hi.
What do I need help with? I don't know. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna phrase this. I did this master class, and like you're talking about like having a hot audience and all of that. This whole master class has been like fucking around and finding out. So just because of the timing of when I created this, when I'm putting it out, I know that I haven't had the hottest audience. There's probably like a few people in there. So I've already gone ahead with the women who have been like viewing my stories and I've had conversations with. I sent them the links already. So some of them saw it, but haven't clicked on the link, or they have. So there's that.
Okay.
Other than that, like my audience, they're just there to support me. And I just knew that.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to create this just because I was like, this is gonna be really good, not just for me to have this and just for me to like give this out, because it's not only just for today. I can do this for the beginning of January too, and be like, hey, did you miss this? Because this year was great right here. So there's that. I've been doing, I guess, so far so good with the content I'm putting out. It's really specific. There's a lot of writing, and so maybe this week I'll put a few carousels because I've been doing a lot of reels, and I was just like, just to have an outreach, but I was like, okay, not a lot of it. I'm not getting a lot of views this time. I was like, okay, let me just nurture what I have then for this
Yeah.
week in my audience. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And so this week is just going to be putting basically my slides together just for the class on Thursday. So very excited about that. I mean, I think one person will be there live. I
Yeah,
have about 5 people signed up.
there we go.
Yeah, so that's good. And then hopefully people watch the replay. But again, like it's not gonna be the immediate people now. I'm thinking it's only gonna be an hour, so there's that. And then I'm gonna pair it with a worksheet. So that it becomes a little bit more engaging for them, being like, okay, like let me pair this video with this, what I need to do and write down. And like again, the tangible tools of like the behavior change tools so that they can really apply what I'm going to be teaching in the masterclass. So there's that.
Oh, I love this. What gets you excited about this masterclass? Why did you want to put it on?
Because it's the topic itself, it's the behaviors and like when it comes to this kind of information, this is the information that I wish I had when it came to like how behavior actually works. It's not just being like pushing you to the limits and being like, oh, you're just being lazy and all of that. No, there's other things going on in your life. And it's just like giving people now this being like not this compassionate side of like the journey with their behaviors, the journey with their nutrition. And it's just like me being somebody who's gonna be basically help you and being like, this is not just like you doing something for 30 days. Like you're not doing this for 30 days. This is like you committing to the whole year. But how can we do like build the little steps right now for the first like month or 2 months that's gonna help you set up for the rest of the year? And so it's just been a lot that I've been talking about for the past few months of like really honing in on mindset. And wanting to talk about it more in a very like kind of like masterclass kind of way. So and I can talk about it all day, and I'm trying to like kind of like concise it in my head of like, oh my God, can't say so much, and I'm trying to just do a little bit in that 1 hour. So that's what gets me excited about this, is just like the topics that I'm going to be talking about. Also, that it's a class, like it's like a community thing that I've been wanting to do for a while too. I just haven't like thought about like what I wanted to like teach on, and this is like the first time I'm like, this is what I want to teach. So that's another thing that gets me excited as well. But yeah, that's about it.
Oh, I love that. And so what is the thing that they're going to get from this masterclass that you want them to walk away with?
Like actual like maybe like 2 tools, being like, if you can like learn how to do implementation intentions, being like, if I go to this party, then this is how much food I want to do. If I start the year with wanting to, I don't know, eat veggies for the meals, I will be buying these sort of veggies. So basically get like, just if they can just choose one thing, or like implement one thing that I'm going to talk about when it comes to behavior change in their lives, and started in January, to be like, this is how Jackie told me to do this, and like I want to do this so that I can be actually committed to this, and maybe for the once in my freaking life I'm going to be consistent in something.
I love it. I love it. And so basically what you're going to help them is the behavioral change to help them stick to their health goals. Is that what you're specifically going to be
Yes.
talking about? Okay.
Yes.
I love that. I love it.
Mhm.
And it really is just bringing that hype to it. And the hype, have you gone live about this?
Yes, I went live last week on Friday, and
I
then
would
I've
go
been
live
putting
at least
more.
2 more times this week.
Yeah. That's yeah, that's the plan. And so I've done a lot, just that. I don't get a lot of people, but I've been, whenever I put more videos of me on my stories, that gets a little bit more views. There's more people watching that. So yes, there's a concentration on still going live, but more people are watching the stories.
Yeah. And your personality, like it's the thing of remembering the why that makes you cry before you go on your stories. Like, why is this so important? Who is this for? Who is this not for? You know, making sure that that's very clear in your stories, making sure that the story behind why you're doing this is really loud and out there so that people buy into that movement. And then the community aspect, making sure that they have a space to talk, like how our calls are versus me talking at you. What I found in my trainings is when I open up space for Q&A and I let people, hang out with each other, ask questions with each other, start to build that type of rapport and stuff. That's what helped me when I first started building Love Club. Although it's not that strong of a thing right now because it's not what we're selling. But in the beginning when it was, and there's like 30 people in there, that was just making sure everyone's unmuted, like making sure community aspect was really there. That's an idea to play with, just so you can start to build that so that these calls become, because I would start doing this once a month, having these community calls, teaching them something, one specific behavioral change, whatever that is. Like there's so many tools out there, that you can be using. So it's like one call, you're teaching them one for one thing, one call, you're teaching them another one for another thing. And so you start to become the very expert in how to optimize your brain to optimize your health and
Yeah.
going down that avenue for people.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like this one was gonna be the month of like getting you ready mindset wise, because that's the foundation to go to 2025. But then 20 for like January, I'm thinking like, okay, now we're going back to food. Okay, now you got the mindset stuff. Okay, now let's go back and really like hone in onto what are we thinking about food. And so it's gonna be like a flip flop. Mindset 1 month, nutrition, mindset 1.
Yeah,
So yeah.
going back and forth. So you're multifaceted. It is. It's the mindset and the nutrition, which is you, right? Like that is your brand. That's the part that you wanted to bring in together. And so being able to optimize on that is going to be really, really important. What questions do you have? What can I support you in?
Mm, I have no idea because it's I'm playing with it. It's just again, it's a 2-week thing and 10-day launch into this. This is the second week. I'm gonna be posting. Um, even though I haven't been like putting the content into the what's it called, school. I know
Mhm.
I know that I've just been kind of like going at it, being like, okay,
Yeah.
again, like
That's just you stepping into your leadership. Like that's how it should be. I hardly ever talk to my coach about shit. It's usually after when I'm going and dissecting stuff from like, okay, help me find the gap on this, help me look at stuff. But it's like when you're in your leadership, it's you trusting your intuition of like, okay, fucking run it, see what happens, see what doesn't, and then go play with it. That's it. As for the one thing that I did hear you say where it's like sending out, how did you send out the links to the people that were watching your stream?
I'm not doing many chats. I at this point I'm not gonna try to figure it out. I've just
No,
again,
no, 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 I didn't mean that. Is it
oh
just like
okay.
full DM, like you saw them watching and then sent it? Did you have a conversation?
Oh, I said, what did I say? I was like, hey queen. So I'm learning a lot about my human design, and I'm bringing a lot of my human design into the way that I talk and the way that I interact with women.
What are
And
you?
I'm a projector.
Oh, same.
I'm a
Okay, yeah.
4/6 projector,
Me
and
too, baby.
you're a 4/6?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Course.
Okay, that's cool. So it's funny because like being the role model of the opportunist role model, and like I can see it like daily now of just the way that I have been, the way that I want to build community, like why I've always wanted to build community, why I've always wanted to like work with women, and so really being like, damn, that's a validation of like what I'm doing, where I'm going, and all of that. And so now that I'm honing in on this of just like the way that I work and how I'm humanly designed, I am inviting them. I am inviting these women first, asking to be like, do you want to know more? That's the
Yeah.
first question. And I've had a few women who have not responded. And I'm like, cool, go to the next. And so the people who have like been like, yeah, I want to sign up, then I send them the link. I'm not sending just the link just to send it, just because I feel like that's invasion and being like, that's
Too
a
much.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the women who I haven't even interacted with, I say, hey, queen, I'm hosting a free masterclass, Master Your Behaviors. We'll be diving into how to break free from behaviors like negative self-talk, overcomplicating nutrition, motivation, and perfectionism so you can stay consistent and committed to your goals. It's happening next Thursday. Would you like to sign up and join?
I love it. I would add something where it's like, if you haven't spoken to them, but you notice they're watching your stories, like I send a voice note where I'm like, hey, I see you flirting in my stories. You've been watching my stories for quite a bit. What sparked your interest? And I start a conversation that way, and then just seeing where they're at. And then I would address and then sell them something. Because if you just come in hot and you haven't ever spoken to them and you're inviting them in, it's like, oh, how did you find me? Right? It'd be like, hey, it's like watching my stories. Like, what are you curious about? Like, I've been seeing you watch my stories for a while. It's just like a flirt at a bar. Like, it's like, hey, I've seen you around here for a while. Like, what are you doing? Like, wanting to talk to them in that way instead of just
Mhm.
coming in being like, I've never talked to you before, but like, come hang out at my masterclass. That feels still a little, I know it's like good intention, but it still feels a little salesy. Like, if I've never spoken to someone and they sent me that, I wouldn't go to the masterclass. And so if you can come in and build a relationship with them first, being like, hey, I see you flirting with me, and like go into their stories and flirt back with them for a bit, and then invite them in, being like, I'm actually running this free masterclass on Thursday, and I would love for you to be there. I know you've been watching my stories for quite a bit. Obviously, no pressure at all, but if you'd like to jump in, I'd love to have you. And like take the pressure off of it, take that, like it's a casual hangout kind of thing,
Yeah.
creates more of an invitation versus, hey, this is what I'm doing. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Just playing with something like that, I found works more of the invitation, friendship, community route that works well with people like
Okay.
us.
So yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I don't know if I had questions. I just kind of wanted to put that out there and also let you know that I am looking at what you're saying right now, but I guess what I'm trying to explain is like I'm just going with it this week. I'm just going with
Okay,
it.
just go and do it, and then we can go because it's on Thursday, and so after the holidays, because we have our little integration week for the holiday, or 2 weeks for the holidays, we can come back and we can go through it because you'll have the KPIs by then to feel what went right, what went wrong, what went differently. So if you come back with that, and then we can dissect it for the one that you're doing in January, and then just keep perfecting that over the next year.
Yeah,
I
gotcha. Okay.
love it. Yay. I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. And I love that you're putting in the mindset stuff and like blending that part because I know it's so important to you.
Yeah, I think that from the last call, I was angry. The last call, I was very angry. I felt like I was not being listened to. I felt
Yeah.
like I was just like yelling into the ether and being like, this is what I'm trying to do, but Noah's like helping me.
Yeah.
And so I think after that, it was just like being like, I'm gonna go with it. Like I was just like, I
Yeah.
don't,
And
yeah,
that's
it
how
was
it
just
is.
like,
Like all of the things that I ever say is to filter through your own lens, always. It's like I know stuff through what I've learned and what I've created in, rooms I've been in and tangibility and things like that. And it's never to take away like what I teach is mindset too, right? It's mindset and then it comes to a tangible thing around branding and marketing, right? But really what I teach is identity work and self-worth. Right. And then creating something around that. And so when you can start to blend these two and figure out how to give someone things that they'll pay money for, versus like shareable, inspiring content, but stuff that actually will create people that are like, oh, this is something I want to invest money into, plus the things that light up your soul, those things go together. Right. And then it's being able
mhm.
to blend that. And so it's just playing with this stuff because I never, my role and my gene keys is I'm an activator. I'm here to fucking piss people off in this lifetime. That is just who I am and what I do, and I've accepted it. And so it's like, if I haven't pissed you off yet, it's going to happen because it's meant to be frustrating. My mentor pisses me off all the fucking time. I just called her last night being like, shit doesn't fucking make sense. I don't fucking know what to post anymore. Da, 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 da. And she's like, have you done any self-care lately? Like, what the fuck? Why are you so upset? Like, you're a leader, go lead yourself. And I'm like, you're fucking right, let's go. And it's just like, that's why it's like, lead yourself through this, right? Like I'm not mom. I'm not right all the time. And so you're gonna only be able to learn by going and trying. And then we test it and we figure it out. At the end of the day, energy is the foundation of everything. And if you're having resistance towards something, that is felt, right? And if the thing that lights you up and the thing that feels fluid and the thing that feels powerful and in your authority is the mindset stuff and like that type of way of doing things and being able to, go wide versus niche, then do that because your energy, when it feels more magnetic, that sells. And then once that's there, we can figure out based on what you just experimented with, what is that piece that people leaped in on? What is the thing that sold them? What's the thing that made them buy? What's the thing that made them say yes to this training? And then we start to pull that out, and then we can go narrow it in on that. So we can still have the mindset stuff. And then after the experiment, we just pull out the things that made them convert and then dial in on that. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, I'm just like, you're talking about these, like the data and stuff, and I'm just like, is there gonna be data just because?
There's
I'm
always,
just like,
right?
mean,
It's looking at, if you
it's-
have 5 people, it's studying those 5 people, right? Are they people that you've known? What content have they been engaging with? What types of things are they following? Looking at their follow list, where do they live? What are they engaged in? Like that's your hot audience right now. And so there's always data, even if it's one person. It's
okay.
looking at what is that. And so we get to play with, okay, you have 5 people. That's a big deal, right? If it was 5 people in person, you'd be pretty fucking happy. And you'd be like, they came to my event. That's really fucking cool. This is great.
Mhm.
Cool. Now they're sitting in front of you. Like I've had in-person events where I've had 200 people and I've had 1 person. I was happy about both, you know, and it's being, and I've had same with my fucking trainings and things like that. Like, it's like the numbers are, the power of one will never, like that will get you the furthest in your business, right? I could be bogged down that not everyone shows up to these calls. Like you guys are the 2 people that mostly show up the most. When we have, I don't know, 8, 9 people in this fucking program. I can get bogged down by it, but like it's the power of 2 right now. And I'm happy as fuck with that because now I get to hang out with you guys and serve you guys and spend an entire hour on your guys' business versus 5 minutes on everyone's. You know, it's like you have the power of 1 and you get devoted to 1 person. At the end of the day, like I think it's the coolest thing that like people signed up to learn the way that you think because they think your brain is so magnificent that they want to learn from you. Instead of ChatGPT, instead of some other person on the internet, they signed up to learn from your brain, from your lived experiences, from your masterpiece. That's never not fucking magnificent. And then when someone pays you for it, you're like, oh my God, you pay me for what's in my fucking brain? That blows my mind. Like it's never, if it's 1 person or it's 500, it's never not cool. Like or it's $5 or 22,000. It blows my mind that that's a thing that people do for us as leaders. And so you always have data when it's 1 person, 5 people, 50. There's always it because those are your people. Those are your loyal fans, right? Like you guys, as I start to scale Boulder Branding Academy next year, you guys are my people. You guys were here in the infancy stage of this before I even fucking have done like the huge launch and all the stuff that I want to do. Like you guys were my people. Imagine if I came into this and I was like, oh, it's just the 2 of you guys. You would feel like fucking shit. No, I have no data because it's just the 2 of you guys. I'll get data when there's 50 of you. That'd feel like shit,
Mhm.
right? Versus like, I'm all fucking in on you guys. I stalk the shit out of you. I'm so excited. Like biggest fans, like seeing what you guys are doing, like all the kind of things, like figuring out what coaching style works for you. I dissect these calls after these calls. Like I'm sitting here being like, how can I make this experience the most incredible experience for you guys? That's all I care about. Sure, if there's fucking 500 people in here, that'd be great. But I have the pleasure of being able to sit with you guys and get to know you and hang out with you. Julie's been on my calls so many times where it's just her and I. Like, I'll give you a blush. And I was like, great, one-on-one session. I'm just gonna pick your brain. Like, who cares? You know, it's like we can think of the numbers, but the reason what I have found in my life before I got gifted the numbers is because I would think that way. As I thought the bigger numbers would somehow give me the authority, would give me the data, would give me the spike of leadership that I wanted internally, when really my leadership came when I understood the power of 1 and
Mhm.
using that to my advantage and just being focused on one. How can I give the best experience to 1 person? And that's all I'm ever focused on. When I write my content, I think of 1 person. I don't think of virality. I think of 1 person. When I think of these calls, mostly I think of you guys because you guys are always here and I love it. And so how can I make it the best experience? What do you guys need to learn? What programs am I running? What am I doing? Like I'm thinking of you guys, you know, and just kind of working towards that. It's a very normal feeling because we want the volume. And the volume comes when we get okay with the 1, right? It's like in the Bible where he talks about it, where it's like, why would I give you more if you're not content with the thing that I give you? You know, and so it's kind of just sitting in that, like you have plenty of data with 5 people, you could go study them now. What made them jump in? That's your next content. What's the resistance that they have or an objection or a question or something? Content. You know, listening to the conversation, stalking their content, seeing what their stories are about, what their vibe is, content. And so just kind of playing with those 5 people to kind of get a better idea of who they are.
Okay.
What's coming up? You seem frustrated.
Um, it's just kind of the information from that. Even because I'm thinking like, okay, how can I like see like what the resistance is right now of like why not like sign up? And so yeah, it's just kind of like, how do I even ask? I can ask. I can put it on my stories and be like, okay, put here's question box. What do you guys, what's to the hesitation and all of that. Seeing if somebody's gonna what's it called, respond, but I haven't. Question boxes for my audience specifically do not work sometimes. Like if it's not a personal question about me, I probably will not have anybody sign like right into that box. And so it's been a lot hard sometimes with wanting to get market research and like getting specific information from people. So there's that. And then I think that's another thing, just that's the one thing that's coming up is like, okay, what's the hesitation of like wanting to jump in when I've been getting really specific and like really talking about this. This is the most I've talked about like something in a while. And I thought, maybe because it's a new offer, maybe somebody will be like, oh yeah, this is interesting, but I'm not seeing like the hype that I would on a free offer
Yeah.
like before.
So when you're talking about mindset and behavior and you're thinking of people and their resistance, what do you find from your research, from things that you've looked at? Why don't people jump in? What's a gap that they usually have?
I can't say right now because like right now it's like I'm going to the second week and maybe people are just like waiting. So there's always the waiting game being like, okay, am I gonna do it or not? And so now this is a week where I'm like, okay, this is the last week. This Wednesday's gonna be the last day. Maybe. Yeah, because I don't want to deal with people Thursday. So Wednesday's gonna be the last day. Oh, maybe I should say last day to sign up is Wednesday. So there's that of like maybe there has to be a little bit more urgency. Is that yeah? Because I mean I'm already saying the math class is on Thursday. Like,
right. And are you talking about what's unique about this experience versus any other mindset training that they've ever done?
no, because I'm not even talking about it as a mindset thing. I'm talking about it as a class of like behavior change. And like I'm not even using mindset. Like I am trying to kind of avoid using mindset because when people think about mindset, it's like, oh, how can I be more positive? Like, oh, how could I like bring more motivation or be more disciplined? Like, no, it's not about being more of those. It's about actually changing the behaviors that are causing you not to be motivated or disciplined or consistent in all these things. And that's what I've been kind of like messing around with. It's the language, even like saying self-sabotage. I haven't said one time self-sabotage because I know nobody uses the word. I don't even use self-sabotage anymore. I'm just like using that I'm not consistent, I'm not motivated, I'm like being lazy. So like that's why I'm using words more like break free from the patterns that are holding you back, break free from like the behaviors that are causing you not to meal prep or, to do all these things. Like, I just feel like not a lot of people are using self-sabotage anymore in the industry.
It's still my top downloads on my podcast is whenever I use self-sabotage.
Okay.
Just for some data end on that. Like people don't say it when we're talking, but it's still, I don't know why. If I use it in my podcast titles, they're my top downloaded podcast. The most annoying thing on the planet. Or imposter syndrome. Those two.
That's always a big one.
Yeah, those two things are always my top podcast downloads. But something you can even use as content is what you just said here. This isn't a mindset training. This is me actually teaching you the behavioral changes and the mindset stuff, being like, this is so much more than that. This is why this training is more than anything that you've tried when it comes to diet mindset trainings or, routines, sticking to a habit tracker. This is what I'm teaching you. Like, call out all the things that are different about what you're teaching, call out that type of stuff, bring that frustration that you're feeling right now towards me into the dialogue that you're having about why these mindset things or these habit trackers and all these things aren't working for them. That's what usually people need to see in the content of like, oh, she really does get that I've been trying these things and it's not working, and I'm not going to fucking waste my time going to another one of these trainings where then you're now highlighting that your way is the new way. Your way is filling the new gap. Your way is the new innovative direction that 2025 needs to help a progressive change in the health industry. Helping
Yeah.
that solidifier versus just like, oh, it's behavioral change pattern things. It's like, no, let your frustration come out. Talk about how it's not another mindset training. Talk about how it's not another tracker. And bring
Okay.
that to create that type of urgency.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I can talk about that.
Yeah. And then, yeah, just the urgency where it's like 2 more days, limited space, like putting things out there because people, it is one of the, like, even on my polls, I get maybe 2 or 3 people. Like, it is, I have a following of almost 16,000 people. Sometimes it's like fucking 5 people that answer my polls, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, it happens. You still put it out there. You're at the end of the day, you're training your audience how to speak with you, how to engage. We can get frustrated. I did this for the longest time when we have a cold audience to just not do the things on how to make it a hot audience, right? And that's still just playing with the polls, teaching them how you want them to engage, putting a flame thing up, like getting them used to gamifying your stories. As frustrating as it is at this stage, it is how it happens. You don't get a hot audience by one night, overnight it happening. It's by the consistency of showing up for months on end with a cold audience until it gets hot and bringing your personality. Like you said, the talking head videos, that's your personality. At this stage, people love that. And so bringing that in and doing those types of things, that's how they're going to get to know you. And then again, in your stories, who's ever watching your stories, it's just hanging out in their stories, sending them voice notes. Hey, I've noticed that you've been hanging out for a while. No pressure, but I'm actually having this awesome party where I'm going to teach you all these new innovative ways to actually stick to your goals in 2025. Would you be interested in joining? It's just inviting them to your party and reaching out. And that's what Julia's been doing to get her 17 people. It's just reaching out to those types of people and just casually inviting them to your party.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to be frustrated. We can handle it. Thank you for bringing it here, honestly. And always let me know that and stuff. Like if you're pissed about something and tell me. Trust me, I can hold it. And then we can work through being like, hey, I feel like you're not listening to me. Great. Smack me over the head and let me know what you want me to listen to better. Because I'm always here to understand. I hear things through my lens, obviously. But if something isn't landing and I'm not getting it, do a reframe for me. Be like, hey, I feel like you're not seeing me. Here's what I'm trying to say. Can you reflect back? And I'm open. Like, of course, I see through my lens. That's human conversation. But if something's not landing, let me know. I'm on your team. I want to help you more than anything on this planet. I'm like your biggest fucking fan. Like, just let me know and we'll work through it. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, you're doing great. It's going to work out. It always is working out. It's just patience and all the kind of things and figuring out messaging, which is the most frustrating part. But you're doing great. It's going to be great. Yay. Is there anything else?
No, that was it. I think that's all I needed for this week. It's just kind of talking it through today. I think that's what it was. I was just talking through what I've done already, what I'm planning to do, how it's gonna go, and that was it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited. Let me know how it goes, how you feel after, drop it in school, all this stuff. What offer are you doing one-on-one coaching?
That's the thing. I'm not even putting an offer. It was just like, here's a class. And then I'm just like, that's what I was thinking about today too. I was just like, oh crap, like what's the offer at the end of this? I'm just like opening up one-on-one coaching again. I don't want to do it's going to be 4 months. I don't want to do an extra month of things. I'm not doing any like discounts or anything. It's just going to be like, I have one-on-one coaching and that's basically it right now.
Yeah, it's just honestly what masterclasses are is talking about your method and then being like, hey, if you want to collapse time in achieving this goal that I've achieved, I have 3 spaces available. Who wants them?
Actually, okay. That because I thought I was just like, oh, maybe I needed to do an offer and I needed to put a discount and I was like, I haven't been feeling like putting discounts on my stuff anymore or like I don't want to put like more months on it. I'm like, this is 4 months. Work with me or no.
Got the stats, just got the authority. We're fucking here.
Yeah.
No, all you have to say is because what the masterclass is I'm assuming you're going to be giving the examples of which you've used to achieve in your life. And so then you talk about that, you're being like, if you want these results, here's my results, here's my walking testimony. If you want results like these, I have 3 spaces open, and
Okay,
that kick off in January. Who wants them? Here's the link.
gotcha. Okay, now okay, yeah. So then when I send the replay, I can put it at the bottom again in the email and be like, hey, one-on-one coaching available, sign up for 2025.
Exactly.
Okay. I like
Easy.
that.
And you're just like, I have 3 spaces, so limited spaces, first come, first serve, and then you have your urgency.
Okay. Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah, thank
Anything else?
you.
Of course. Anything else? No. Perfect. All right, dears, I'm proud of you. You guys are killing it. Doing your thing, putting yourself out there, growing your communities. This stage is hard, right? Like the beginning stages, it took me 3 years to get to all the things, to speaking to literally no one, acting like I'm fucking talking to everyone. Like, I can't tell you how many times I had one person in my calls, I wasn't one of those coaches that had overnight success and like 20 people after my first fucking launch. Like, that wasn't it. I get this phase more than anything. I'm here to support you. Like, I speak through you through that lens, not the lens that I'm in now, where it's like anything I sell, it's like I know the beginning stages, that it sucks and all those kind of things. So when you need support in that, like, drop it in school. I'm here. We could have chats around that. That could be our call that we have on Wednesday. Just like, I'm pissed. Do like a somatic releasing or something around that and the resistance. Like, it's very normal. But every time that happens, when you can actually, like, you guys are going to hear me talk about this a lot lately around identity and shifting. It's like we have a desire, and then a quantum crumble happens, and then resistance happens. And then the breakthrough happens on this side. Oftentimes we get stuck in this resistance thing because things aren't going as we have the desire, resistance, desire, resistance. We get stuck in this thing versus shifting out of the resistance to actually get out of it so we can break the cycle. What moves you faster in your business is not getting stuck in this whole numbers thing. It's, can you keep your authority without the numbers being your validation of things? Can you still be the leader of showing up and being like, I have 100 people in this room, I'm going to show up as such. I'm going to speak as such. I'm going to sell as such. I'm going to sell as though my offer is the hottest thing on fucking planet, and everyone is going to buy it in this. Even if it's 5 people, it's 5 fucking people, they're going to fucking buy it. Why would I not show up and give my all? I'm going to invite the fucking world because this is the best fucking program on the planet, because hundreds of people are going to be watching this one day. So I'm going to show up. Like, that is your inner game to move through the resistance. If we get caught in the numbers, we get caught in the validation, we get caught in the ego, we stay in the cycle. And so we want to shift our identity to constantly being in leadership, irregardless of the numbers. And that's how we break through it. I wish someone would have told me that 3 fucking years ago. Truly, truly, truly. Because my life would have moved a lot faster. And so I want you guys to remember this week, because both of you guys are going into a big week. Lean on each other, hype each other up, like, be each other's biggest fans, maybe go to each other's challenges, like, be the loudest people in the room, like, go and do those things. You know, that's what this community is for. And, you know, you have this space. This is your home on the internet to be bold, baby. That's what this is. But I'm very proud of you guys. You guys are doing incredible. So take that with you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.